Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Diabolical Souls Presents. We're doing episode 4 of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. This one's called Lucky You, and I brought some friends with me, and we've got someone new in the nest. Mr. Emperor Goodwin Jay, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. How are you doing, bud?
I'm the lucky one. Shame about everybody else who has to watch me cover this. Then they're not going to be so lucky. But
Well, you sent out that little message today that was like subtlety to it, and so I was like, I might have to ask him to come on. So I'm
like
glad you
the
could
hard
come
B
on.
in the subtle
Yes,
is what I am. Yeah.
yeah. And then of course we got Hosty in the house, HOSTMANN, otherwise known as Ziggs. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How about you? I'm ready to get into some ripping tonight.
Our Ripper Doc, ready to go already. And then we got our local.
I'm ready to go. All chromed up, man. I got my arms ready.
Im dread man, through the dread.
Yeah. And then we got our artist for the live streams, Zach.
Let's rock on.
Yeah, let's rock on. Zach, how you doing? And we won't show anything until the end, but like for people that are watching it and people that are going to watch the replay, Zach does. He's an incredible artist, and we have plans for the future. Just FYI. And Zach's really excited for what he's going to be doing in the future. But he's going to be doing some live penciling and inking throughout the show, and he picks a character or characters throughout the series and does it in the during the episode that we're reviewing. And then we're going to auction everything off at the end of the series. So save your money if you want a piece that you like. It's going to be up for auction. And stick to the end because you'll see who he's doing tonight. And then it'll be a good time.
Yeah, because I don't want these pieces just lying around my house. I'd rather just give them to you guys, whoever's got the money.
Yeah.
They can lie around your house.
And just in the nick of time, Sammy, what's going on there, bud?
Hell yes, man.
Oh my God. We were just talking about all that dumb shit that Alan Richardson said.
That little shit.
Well, I don't know if he's little, but you know.
No, he's not.
Fuck said he can't support the Catholic Church because pedo priests, but he'll gladly work in Hollywood. You realize they gave an award to Roman fucking Polanski and had Harrison Ford hand deliver it to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you quit Hollywood if you got such a good conscience, little shit?
Well, they're all hypocrites, so
they are.
Again, we desperately need the old studio system to come back where stars said nothing except through PR agencies.
Yes,
it's working for Brie Larson right now.
Exactly. She realized. Well, yeah. She did the ultimate beclowning of the. I'm going to start my YouTube channel, and I like video games. I like the Nintendo. Oh, okay. Thanks.
I like that Nintendo that the kids are always up with.
Yep. And what is my favorite Star Wars? I'm not sure. But I mean, the thing is that these people have always been idiots.
What's his name? Henry Cavill does it pretty well. He's actually a pretty chill gamer, dude. Like that just kind of like does his own thing, right?
Although I do have a theory about Henry Cavill. The reason that even with Warhammer right now, the reason that Henry Cavill's shit keeps getting wokeified is because it attracts women and women ruin everything.
Yeah.
Women like Henry Cavill and he's like, I want to do Warhammer, and women are like, what's Warhammer? And then all of a sudden they start looking and they're like, oh shit, women are looking in Warhammer. We better screw up 30 years of lore.
I do love if you like, I don't know, 5 years ago, said, well, I'm gonna take over some intellectual property and I'm gonna beclown it in modern way or whatever. And if you ask me the two fandoms that this would be a stunningly bad idea to try it with, one would be Tolkien fans and the other one is Warhammer fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It is like the most concentrated amount of autism in a fandom ever. And
really,
and doubly so with Warhammer fans, because I don't know anybody who's into that who hasn't spent thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
On not only the figures but all of the lore books and all of that, right? They know that lore better than anybody working at Games Workshop.
Yeah. They're worse than
how long have they
Battletech
been around?
and
How long has
D&D and
Warhammer
Vampire
been
the
around?
Masquerade fans?
Well, guys,
87.
let's axe this because this is for a later date. Let's get into Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Yep.
Let's get into this show.
Do it.
Because we're going off a tangent here. I mean, I want to say a few things myself, but we got a show to do here. So we have people in the chat. We're getting a flood of people coming in. We have 20 people so far watching on X and YouTube. We have Zach's. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. I know he's going through the ringer. He's, oh man, he has no voice. He's just from the neck up, as he says, in pain. So I hope you get better real soon there, bud. Thanks for joining us. Boosh, thanks for joining us, bro. I appreciate it.
Boosh, Boosh.
I have to get him on here one of these days. And Jamma, he's just a loyal viewer of the channel. I appreciate it a lot there, Jamma. Thanks for joining again. Scrolling down. We got a Racerhead. There he is. He's always here. Hello there. Welcome, Racerhead. Thanks for joining us, bro. And another loyal viewer, Phil Philly, good one watching Cyberpunk. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I have absolutely no history in computers or anything like that.
Nos, our Cyberpunk Edgerunners encyclopedia, joining us tonight. Cyber Gooch, thanks for joining us there, Nos. Everyone in the chat, I greatly appreciate you guys joining us and watching us, review these episodes. It's a lot of fun. Why does Jay Goodwin have a warm, assuring voice that makes me want to listen to him spin a yarn around a campfire and whiskey?
It's easier to get victims that
way. Cigarettes.
And so, well, should we get into this? Episode 4. This one's called Lucky You. You guys down to do this?
You talked me into it. You're very convincing.
Yes.
Oh, and my bad when I came in. I thought we were still backstage.
Flow through you.
Oh, did you? No worries. No worries. But this is an easygoing little, easygoing channel.
I love that this episode is bookended.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because we start off with David. Yeah, it's kind of got this neon look to it. It's kind of like a cyber look for this, but it's actually, you'll find out later on in the episode, it's actually blood, and he's in absolute shock of what's going on in front of him. And I don't want to say anything yet, but we'll talk about it obviously later.
It's a crimson rain, folks.
Yes. And so Maine is screaming at him and telling him to get out of the way, and then he actually
does he punch him? Wait, he punches him, right?
No, he kicks him.
Yeah, he
kicks him out of the way.
I fucking love that shit. He's so fucking brutal. He's like, "Fuck out of the way, kid."
Yeah, but it's like a brotherly.
Well, it has to, right? There's no here, honey boo boo. Why don't you move? It's something is coming in. I have to forcibly move you because you're not reacting. You're in shock.
Yeah.
Well, let me start off. Let's just
that's what any good brother would do if their little brother was in trouble. Gotta kick him out of the way sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, he kicks him out of the way, and then there's the intro. That's the fast start.
I love that song that they have for the intro. Like all the music choices, they're just spot on for this.
Franz Ferdinand.
Well, getting back to what you guys were just quickly mentioning about Maine, like being kind of a mentor over David, like we always we forget that Maine was working with his mom,
right?
And he feels like he has to kind of take over that role. And I don't know what kind of relationship. I don't know if because it's not really like he talks about the mom, the mom's name is
Gloria.
Gloria. Thank you. And that she was like ripping with a lot of the EMTs, taking a lot of the cyberware and selling it, in the black market. So I don't know how close they were. It seems like they were pretty close.
Yeah,
I also
Maine makes some pretty
responsible.
Well, Maine makes some pretty clear statements about how she's always been reliable, dependable, there's no big deal. But the other thing is that Maine also points out that he believes that when you run a crew, everything should be fairly shared, right?
Mhm.
And so there's a certain ethic to this, and it's the so I noticed that the cartoon has changed some of the language that's in the game, right? It's kind of taken some roles and mashed them up. But what Maine and this crew would generally be is nomads, and that's almost a family unit. And so once David, because initially he's like, "What the hell?" and then he finds out, and it kind of gives him pause. But once David starts to show his worth, then he gets brought into the family. And once you're kind of in that, then the only way out is like betrayal or something.
Yeah. Well, you have to not only betrayal, but you have to show your worth in that. And
right. I'm saying the way that you would get out is if you betrayed it in some way. Right. They're not abandoning you. They don't leave their people behind.
Yeah. So yeah, we get back to this scene where we start off after the intro. We start off. They're in the Afterlife club here. It's a nightclub where we see Maine and Dorio kind of fooling around. Oh, actually, they're talking about the target that Tanaka that Faraday wanted them to look at, and he didn't reveal any information or details about the job, and so they're just kind of discussing like, what do we do here? And then Dorio's is like curious and decides to have Kiwi spy on Faraday, and so we have this going on in the beginning. And then they're talking about how in the last intro how Faraday says like he swapped venues. Because that was mentioned in the last episode, how they didn't accomplish the job, even though they got the vehicle and the data. They got the data, but the
data is now worthless.
Is worth, exactly.
Her tits floating.
Pardon me.
Are her tits floating? The girl in the tank.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They look there. Yeah.
Like what the hell?
It's like pushing him up against the glass, like Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy, where he's like, Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Okay, I'm like, what the hell?
Yes, it's this is like sorry, Lost Scott, and then like I like this little piece, like Maine starts to wanting to fool around with Dorio here. He starts grabbing her. She looks like a dude, like she looks like a big dude. She does. And
well, I mean, except for her chesticles are but I think they explain that to some degree when they're talking to David, that in order to handle the level of chrome that a lot of these people are doing, you have to build yourself up physically.
Yeah,
because it'll just destroy you otherwise.
Yeah, and then
some Bridget Nielsen vibes.
Yes, I was going to mention that. You took the words right out of my mouth. Bridget Nielsen. I was thinking the same thing. Just like you don't know if you want to go there or not.
Yeah,
you're just kind of like
you're afraid to get in the dick measuring contest because she might win.
Yeah, not only that. Yeah, like you don't know if you're going to live throughout the experience. Like,
snoo.
And on this episode, the writer's barely disguised fetish.
Oh, okay, the club used to be a morgue. That's why you see that kind of equipment.
Explains the name too.
Oh, thank you, Nas.
Gooch, don't lie. You spilled more seed over Dorio than Michael J. Fox. I couldn't even finish.
No.
Facts. Those are facts. No, Nas.
Hey, I got standards. All right.
Oh, was that stolen there? Boosh, Nas, how dare you? That's a Boosh original. I love the chat. That's pretty good. So yeah, we see Maine fooling around with Dorio, and then she just gives him a good whack in the face, and then they start making out.
That's
while he's
honestly,
bleeding.
Like, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it's actually kind of hot.
And she
dude, like-
even licks the
What?
blood off his face.
Dude, I mean, I don't know, getting hit while you're doing it, like it's kind of hot. Like, you know, or, like hit me harder or some shit. I don't know. It's a kink. Everybody, it's not for everyone.
Zach,
I'm
we
more
are,
in the
always
camp of
knew
it's
you
better
were
to
a
give than
freak.
to receive on the whole gun thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Zach just outed himself. He's a bottom.
Exactly.
So
Cotton 4K
So-
chat.
so as they're kind of like making out here, you see David making a phone call, and he's eager to make some money, and he's asking Maine, like you see it here.
he's
The
not-
word.
he's-
What's the word? Go ahead. Go ahead. Who? Jay, are you there? Did we lose him?
They just killed Jay. They killed
We
Kenny.
just killed Jay.
We
just
killed
killed-
him.
And guys, go ahead, like chime in whenever you need to. Like, I don't take offense to it. If you got something to say it when you see a scene.
Yeah.
Well,
I like
Good.
in this scene how David's been given a new purpose in life, and he's just ready to go. He's just ready to go, no matter how inexperienced he is. He's just like, come on, let me do it. He's just like your average restless teenage boy. You give him you give him something to do, and he's just ready to go. He wants to do it. He's like, come on, give me something.
yeah, he's very eager.
He's very scrappy.
Jay got
dude.
excited. Jay got excited by Maine making out with the dude. Yes.
Actually, it was the
Jay's
idea of
ass.
Zach being a power bottom that really,
Yes.
really got me.
or the fact that Zach outed himself that he
Yeah,
needs to pay
is that
for it.
power bottom? I needed a minute just alone. But yeah, the thing is that so David is not. He's not. That's Maine thinks that it's about money, but David has decided to get serious with the crew, and so he wants to get experience because it's the one thing he's lacking. Yeah, he's got the Sandevistan, spinal chrome, but he wants that experience, and so that's really what's driving him.
Well, he's
It's
got
just
nothing
funny,
else going
he's
for him either.
cock-blocking right now. He's like cock blocking Maine from like getting laid because he's like, all right,
Yeah.
send Lucy after this kid.
Yeah, Maine's just like, whatever, dude. You just do you, okay?
Yeah, basically, and you're right. Like David's urging Maine that he wants to learn from him, and like Maine's like reluctant, and he finally just agrees, like, okay, and he sends him to his boy, Aldo, as we see.
I love this guy.
Yeah, me too.
He's just like the old generic, like old asshole.
Does he
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sound like Danny DeVito?
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like he would be Danny DeVito if there was a live action. He's getting things wrong. And he's like,
So anyway, I started blasting.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and the I can't hear you, right? He's always
Yeah.
constantly misunderstanding the name and all that.
And
then
doesn't he say he can't hear you, and then he says it again?
Yeah,
He's
what
like,
are you yelling
didn't have to
for,
fucking
kid?
yell. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just fucking with him.
Gotta point out this is far more gay than Roman Stream. Well, it is Cyberpunk. Also, what to me? Thanks for joining us, bro.
Maybe the real
Appreciate it.
homosexuals were the Edgerunners we made along the way.
I don't know about that, Boosh. We were talking about musicals and stuff at the end.
Oh,
The
God.
Joker 2
All
trailer.
musicals are gay. Watch the Book of Mormon and South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Did you know Dylan Mulvaney was in the Book of Mormon?
Yeah, I knew
Yes.
that. That was how he got started on.
I
Well,
saw
in
him
the
on that,
acting
and I
industry.
didn't realize.
Just for future reference, we never bring up that name on this channel ever again.
Yeah, it's a great way to
He
get,
must not be named.
Yeah.
your monetization messed with.
Well, no, not only that, I just can't stand that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't
individual.
imagine why.
Yeah.
It who must not be named.
Yes. So yeah, we're
Well,
here,
something
and David's
that's
getting a
how I work
package,
with it today.
and I mean that kind of jokingly. So like, I wasn't like I'm not bringing the tone down. So it's kind of because everyone kind of just went quiet. as
You're
I
not
said
going to
it.
break my heart over.
Yeah. Oh darn. Well, there go all my talking points. I guess I'll have to get another sheet.
I brought all these notes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like all the kids
Hell,
got
I'm
quiet
being
after
repressed.
Daddy
Gooch is
smacked Mommy
repressing
at
me,
the
Dad.
table. Like I just, like. But anyway, so we're getting back to this. We see that David's getting a package from Aldo, and he's got to take it to Rebecca, and actually he's got to take it to Pilar.
What did David say to the old guy? It was fucking hilarious. Like when he was just getting so annoyed. He made an off-the-cuff comment where the old man was laughing.
Can I see if I can find it right here? I don't think he's. I think it was something about.
Well, I know that he's Aldo's complaining about he's like, you're the one that like destroyed the car, and
yes.
David's like, I'll do better next time. He's like, yeah, we'll see if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're just another shit stain.
Yeah, you're shit.
Yeah,
just another shit stain.
Yeah. Then we see David walking. I love the scenery. Like it looks like Vegas here, and B, I just love the palettes.
It's like right at the edge of town in Vegas.
Yeah, it gives you that Breaking Bad kind of vibe.
Well, yeah, and I live out in the area where they filmed Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
Albuquerque?
Yeah, I live near Albuquerque, and I've actually eaten at that Silver Moon Diner that they featured in the show.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, nice.
It's decent.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, get back to this.
The color palettes look really nice. It's a nice natural break from the kind of just neon saturated way the city looks. It's the show knows when to give you a break from all the neon colors.
Well, it's like a lot of the animation we're reviewing, they know how to use the palettes to bring the tone and emotion to the scene. Like in Scavenger's Reign, you see the tones. In Blue Eye Samurai, you definitely feel the tones. And Arcane, not so much. But definitely these more 2D animations, you see it done really well.
I think the other thing is that the setting is correct, because this is it's more their normal lives, but also shows that they're outside of the hustle and bustle of the city itself, right? They're on the edge out here, right? They're right on the edge of the city, and they're that way in a metaphorical sense. Much
one might say they're even running.
Yeah. Well, no, he was walking.
So yeah, David's got this package, and I don't think he even knows what's in the package.
No,
it obviously looks illegal, and he sees the two cops. He starts to panic, and then he just hides it underneath the jacket and strolls by the cops, and then you just kind of see him sigh as he passes them, and easy peasy, as he says here. And then we get to Rebecca and Pilar's apartment, and then boom, we get that. As
fuck yeah!
God, I love this scene.
Yeah,
what a sexy bitch, man. Let's go.
Careful.
I didn't.
She's
think
so
that.
hot, bro. The eyes on her. Is
all right, so
really
we now know that Zach is both a power bottom and loves the crazy. So
yeah,
and the lolly.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, her crazy in this show gets me like rolling every time I see her go, like yelling, screaming, whatever. I was like, this is great. I fucking love this.
We got 34 people watching us on X and on YouTube. Combined, well, nope, 35, 36. Okay. We're getting a flood of people come in. So if you can, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and please subscribe to everyone here on the panel. It'd be greatly appreciated. These guys do a lot of great stuff on their channels as well, so go check them out. And so, yeah, getting back to this, Rebecca answers the door with a gun to David's face. And this comment
so
by
nonchalant.
Oh yeah, it's very much like The Room. Tommy Wiseau. Oh, hi, David.
Right? Yeah, just
yeah.
Hi, Dave.
She could have easily just handed him like, "Oh, I baked you cookies," but instead it's like, "Oh no, here's the gun in the face." Like, "Oh, what do you want?"
And it's perfectly normal. That's how you greet all your guests, I think.
Yeah,
dude, this is the bitch
squatter
that
laws are.
with him.
So you don't know what the squatter laws are in California at this time, so you got to be careful.
She should have been with David, not Lucy.
Well, she tries.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's definitely
fair, at one
simping for
point.
him, but
Yeah, I think for me, I think it would be a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
I tend to keep my
Yeah.
penis out of things that want to burn my house down.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
And things that look like they're in the body of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah,
take
I'm
me
not really
long
into that
as
either.
a young man to smell crazy and and get a very
Oh,
good sense of
yeah.
that smell, and then
Oh
flee.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, even
Yeah.
what's her face? We said we could identify crazy just by the haircut. Yeah,
Mhm.
Lucy. And
I can identify crazy just by what they're wearing, and she's definitely crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't have to be in the
But here's
physical
the
presence.
thing,
You
though.
can describe to me something
Mhm.
they did, and I'd be like, "Yep, I smell it." Okay. let's
Here's
move
the
on.
thing, though. It's like one of those things where when you're playing a video game and you're role playing, most of the time for me, I like to be a general good character that likes to do good deeds, depending on the world setting. In a world like Cyberpunk, like 2077, whatever, I honestly, I would be the dude where I don't give a fuck about anything. I would be the guy that's running with the Edgerunners, like not giving a single fuck, numb to the world because that's how ruthless it is. So if I want a type of woman in that ruthless type of world, Rebecca would be that kind of girl I would roll with.
But you have to sleep with one eye open. That's the problem.
yeah.
NASA or Encyclopedia of Cyberpunk. Night City is in California, between the borders of Southern and Northern California, and is the lore. Okay, I did not know. I thought it was more of a inner state thing, like a desert, like Vegas kind of vibe to it.
Sax.
I'm calling Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Hey, I'm the one saying that. No thanks, I'm good.
Doesn't matter.
Julio, thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate
She's what
it.
you call jailbait, folks.
So yeah, we get to know Rebecca a little bit more here, even though you kind of get the vibe of her. Zach likes it. All of us would run away from it.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of John Wayne Bobbitt scenario.
Yeah. Great angles. That's the other thing I like about the show. The camera angles they use for this is fantastic. So now you're getting a different. Yeah. Oh yeah. You get the tones, like now they're inside this like almost like a Judge Dredd apartment, like in the movie.
Very much.
Yeah.
Mega City 1 for sure.
Yeah. I love that the switch of tones here. It like I said, it brings out that emotion, and you get invested into this series. The way they just jump back and forth, and it's this show is very fast paced too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's screaming for her brother Pilar, and Pilar grabs the package with his long arms, and he gets these new golden hands, these spaghetti fingers. And he's happier than a pig in shit. And David's happy that he delivered the package, and he gets paid for it. And obviously the brother and sister are fighting here, and he's leaving.
Yourself, cheap-ass.
Well, I wanted to get the scene just before that, where he sees the money that he got paid for a small little job here. Yeah. He's happy that he's made some money. Then he gets a call from Lucy. And you see him kind of get excited that Lucy's calling him and saying, "Hey, are you free tonight?" And he's really happy. And he's like, "Okay, good." So now we're seeing Lucy at the end of a dock and standing there, and David's kind of playing the cool guy. I can, play it cool and act nonchalant.
Well, he thinks this is going to be some sort of, oh, we're going to meet and talk or whatever. No. That's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, she's there to train David, and
she makes it clear that wasn't her choice. That Maine forces her to, essentially.
What's up, Jenna? What's going on? I haven't talked to Jenna in a while. What's going on, Jenna? Thanks for joining us. Geez, the chat's starting to build up. Trying to sniff that cyberbox. Yeah. So David's here. He's she's kind of questions him. Then we get a flashback of Maine asking Lucy.
I love this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's kind of like, why me? And he's just like, why? Don't play dumb. The kid's he's got a little, crush on her, and you got to keep an eye on him. I think he mentions he's like a lost puppy.
Yeah, you got to take him for a walk.
Yeah.
Haven't you taken in a stray before? And then again, he points out, you're the one that said that we should keep him.
Yeah,
he's a work dog. Got to work him. Got to put him to work, otherwise he's going to be all over the place.
So like David's trying to play the cool guy here, and then they're off the train. So she makes fun of his body too, which I find funny. She calls him with the stick legs. What are they? Chopsticks. Narrow torso. Yeah. So she just calls him out. Look at that face. He's like, oh, okay. There goes my chance. And then
Maine is like Alan Ritson, and then we've got Timothy Chalamet as David or something. It's
yeah. Timothy Chalamet.
That would be Alan Ritson doing blackface.
That'd be all right.
So yeah, then
again, this is payoff for the discussion about how to chrome up. You physically have to be able to handle the demands that it puts on your body, and very clearly he is not the finest physical specimen.
No, and he's that leads to the conversation here, because he's relying on the Sandevesten. I hope I said that right. And
Sandevesten.
Yeah, Sandevesten. Yeah, I said it. And Sandevesten, he's relying on that. And
Stan.
Fucking whatever. So the Sandy, the Sandy from now on. And so and Maine's kind of letting him know, like, you can't rely on that. You gotta have a weapon, and gives him this weapon here, and tells him you need to get some cyberware and chrome up, and learn how to fight and train, because like it's a cruel world. You can't just rely on one thing. You have to have multiple options when it comes to running with the Edgerunners here.
Yeah, the Sandevesten is it's a good baseline. I mean, they're like, that's a hell of a foundation, but that's not enough. You're still gonna have to chrome up in other ways.
So now we see this training montage.
Gonna need a montage.
Yeah.
They did the montage really well in this episode. It was, I don't know the time frame of how long he's been with them within the training to the gigs they were doing, but it seemed like how I saw it was like it was going on for quite a number of months.
I don't know that I would say it's months, because some of his reactions are still slow, like they're not ingrained, right? But I could see this be over the course of a couple of weeks where they are busy. They are always having clients and then run-ins with other things, and he is trying to, because of Maine, him talking to Maine, and then his eagerness to increase his capability. He's just basically involving himself in everything that everybody's doing.
Yeah. Hostman booted. I can't boost Hostman or boot Hostman. Hostman's a funny little dude.
Strike me down and I will only become stronger.
Boosh, some dope industrial band where the chin rings and okay. So yeah, so now we see the training montage. We see Kiwi and Rebecca training with David. Go ahead there, Jay.
Well, so here's where I think we talked about it in the green room a bit. There's that this is the first time that we hear actual punk music. And as the intensity of the things that he's doing with the crew increases, so does the genre of the music, to the point that we're end up at like thrash metal at a certain point. And it's very much driven by David doing things. Whereas in the prior episodes, to me, the music is more tied to environment and situation, not necessarily David's choices, his action within the world. this it changes that.
Yeah. And we see him from this point where he's like a bumbling fool in training to this point where he's talking with Lucy. He actually asks her how old she is. And she doesn't even really answer. She kind of just
there's a good exchange in this one too.
Yeah.
Talking about the because he's like, well, you just, with all of your skills and all that stuff, it seems like you should be older. And she says, yeah, a lot of gonks think that, and specifically tech heads that have been in the game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's there's a certain parallel with David as well, right? There's some of the older, and like Pilar and all that, right? They're older and they think that, well, because I've been doing this for a long time, experience is what give me the edge. But the intensity that Lucy has and then David has allows them to catch up and maybe surpass them because they take it much more seriously.
Yeah, they're dedicated for the craft,
right?
Or dedicated to the craft,
right?
Jeez.
I'm just here for Zach to talk about more titties. Welcome, Vex.
Oh, he's on fire tonight, Vex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've learned quite a bit about Zach. Yeah.
I will need to internet bleach my brain after this.
Well, the good news is by the end of this stream, we'll have a hell of a dossier.
Sit down in that chair, sir.
Yeah.
And you have a seat right there.
Yeah.
And you see this group become more of like a family unit, which is really cool. They get really attached to each other. I like some of these scenes. Then we see Rebecca getting mad, and then David having to, use the Sandavestin. Whatever the fucking thing. That Sandy use it and bring her out. They go into the bar. You see them forming like a family unit here. And then you see, Maine training David driving a vehicle, which is quite humorous.
That I like.
Kind of like it almost reminds me of Tokyo. This part.
It's
this is a great part.
Taking your kid for the first time for a joyride just to see how they do, and that was like
airing the Gooch. Airing the Gooch right here live on Netflix. David airing the Gooch.
All I can say is that Lucy's going to be very disappointed.
So
that's horrible.
Right here, this is what we're talking about there, Jay. How old are you anyway? And her response.
I love that too.
See if I can get it up, or did it go to the next scene and then come back?
That's a phrase that Gooch has to use quite a bit. Let's see if I can get it up.
Facts. The prison days. So like,
if only you had been in Zaxxas, so.
Poor Sammy trapped on this panel of degenerates when he's
I am completely innocent in all this. Do not look at me.
I said they lured me with their tricknology.
Yeah.
The power of Jacob compels you, Hostman. Yeah.
No.
I do too. I like how they go so quick with showing him becoming part of the family. They show him with a smile on his face. Then the seconds later, dude gets his head blown. Yeah, it's really well done. These episodes, it doesn't feel like 22 minutes. It feels like a 10-minute episode.
Yeah.
Like they go really fast.
Well, like I said last week, I watched. When I always watch the episode. I binged the whole series, but I'll always watch the episode the day of. And last week I had these two back to back because the first episode felt kind of like an introduction, and this one was so fast paced I didn't even notice that it had skipped to the next episode. You know what I mean? It's
And they literally bleed into each other, right?
They
the
do.
last thing that Maine says in episode 3, it's the first thing that they're reacting to in episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
This was also a damn sight easier to keep up with for the stream than watching Shogun for Zax's stream.
Yeah, I going back to this with the colors. Like, I love the colors they use for Maine. Like, it's very, like, it's almost welcoming. It's very like he's almost got like a Santa Claus look to him, even though he's
jovial.
Yeah.
Well, and what a contrast it is from when you first are introduced, where he's holding David by the leg upside down, right? And threatening him, and then as you kind of see this, Maine becomes more colorful, more welcoming, because now you're part of his crew, his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even when they're in the vehicle, like the colors that these like it's great. I just appreciate like what they do here. Like, all this is 2D. Like, look at that artwork. That's just great.
Well,
so
again, on the ground, right? So the cop cars look a little hand-drawn, what the hell, right? The angles aren't good or whatever. Compare that to the Arasaka limo that they steal, which is very precise in its drawing and geometric in the way that it's created.
FYI,
yeah, that car's
to get
very idiosyncratic.
Oh yeah, it is.
Shit's about to get real. We got Bag, my brother. In the
yeah.
There we
up,
go.
baby?
BAGFACE.
What's good?
Wait, BAGFACE? What's up, B? How
up?
you doing, B?
How you
I miss you,
doing?
B.
Yeah.
Miss you.
And
You my
miss
boo.
I'm getting excited already.
We just gotta wait for Amateur to get back. Then we'll have a full house.
Yep. Well, he landed, and he's just got back from where he went on vacation.
Sick.
So it sounds like he had a great time. So he'll be here next week. It'll be a lot of fun when we have everyone here and talking about this great show. What's up, BAGFACE? How you doing?
Oh, I'm chilling. I'm just hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not stoned. That's for sure.
I don't believe you.
I'm not convincing. Oh shit.
Press X.
Not gonna lie, I'd be upset if you weren't.
Good.
That excuse never worked with my parents either.
Force them to take the lead next time.
Quick note: Episode 6, X-Men 97. Bag.
So good, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, that show's so good.
Yeah, it is.
It really is good.
Oh man,
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that a cartoon like that good exists.
I'm not gonna lie, I was on Cass's in the chat for Cass's channel, during her stream, and I mentioned it, X-Men 97 thoughts, and she's like, the way it ended in 93, I'm happy, I'm good. I'm like, Cass, it's actually shockingly how good it is.
Yeah.
And I hate Disney. So she's like, damn. She's like, Gooch. So hopefully she watches it, because it's worth a watch.
It was someone was
actually
saying
put
online, it was
Storm
like,
back in her,
I guess get broke, get woke, go broke isn't a thing. It was like, no, idiots, get broke and follow the source material and you will succeed.
Exactly.
Source material is woke. It is approved.
Well, that's why they had to fire the showrunner, because it was too competent. They saw it and they were like, what is this?
Yeah. That's my thought. That's my theory. I think
Which
that's
is weird
exactly
because,
why.
Which is weird.
Well, they said he was hard to work with.
Because he probably didn't want to send them. Anyway, I shouldn't have brought up that tangent. But
Sorry.
No, I did that. That's my fault. Anyway, get back to this. You were talking about the cars and the drawing, how they're laid out, and it looks a little flat. But
it's a matter of status, right? The lower status and closer to ground stuff has this irregular kind of hand drawn look to it, that everything just looks a bit degraded, versus when you encounter high status stuff like the Arasaka limo or the buildings as you move up into the city, right? That they become very linear. They become very geometrically correct, and it's a good contrast. It's a visual contrast between order and disorder.
Look at Maine barely fitting into the car.
Yeah. Yes, it's very
Absolute
Tism.
monster.
Very Tism now. Sorry. So yeah, Hostman, I can hear you.
With this one.
Yeah, I can hear you. So yeah, we're still on it's a lengthy training montage. This with David here in this episode, and then like it keeps going back.
But it never
to the
feels like a training montage. Never feels like that obligatory. All right, now we have to have the training montage. It just feels like a natural part of the story.
It does, but it doesn't just look like here's visual crap that we're trying to fill time with, right? There are always interactions that build character, that strengthen the relationships, that show his skill increasing, right?
It looks like the story's being told that we're not seeing.
Right.
Like,
and we're getting the highlights.
Yes. Yeah, good night.
Yeah. Wait, did you guys just explain what a montage was?
No, we're explain how this is like a shit montage.
Yeah. I mean, you explained what a good montage is, but yes, it is still a montage, I would argue.
Can you explain it, Beg?
Well, it doesn't feel formulaic.
A series of highlights through a story, you know,
Yes.
which is but it is done very well. It still feels like every time I see a montage, I'm always like, I want that though. Like, I would rather this show be like 2 seasons and I get like all of that development, but a montage works and it's pretty, so I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. I just it flashes between all the characters. This is the part you were talking about, Jay, the long limbed techies.
Yeah, she's bitching about Pilar specifically.
Yeah. And then we get to the shower scene, which I don't mind, taking my time going through this one.
It's the tentacle porn, isn't it?
Again, not safe for work. Not safe for work. Any
Zach, would you like to say anything incriminating about this?
Yeah. No. Zach, what are your thoughts on hentai?
There you go, Zach. There's a nice nipple there for you.
It's already revealed.
Man, he's killing me today.
Zach's already outed himself as a power bottom, lolicon. We should just make it a. Maybe we should
His
just add
safe word
hentai
is
to that
don't
holiday.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's having a very good time. She is definitely having a very good time.
I can fix her.
Zach's like, what are you talking about? I don't want him fixed.
And another thing is that like I love I love David, and even though I hate him as a character, the writers did a good job with the way he sees Lucy in the show. He's trying so hard to get to her and whatnot, but then when you see him like interact with her, he's shy, but he's also like confident, and he's still in his teens, I believe. And it's kind of like
17, ain't he?
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, something like that. And it's kind of like makes me think of like how I was when I was a teenager. Like, I was like hitting on women, super cocky, but at the same time I was shy. I had certain vulnerable moments, and I just love the way that they wrote him. Like, he truly feels like he's actually a teenager, especially when he's seeing like breasts. Like, he's just like super stunned. He doesn't know what to do. He's kind of like stuck in the moment.
Yeah, if I would have seen that when I was like 17, I think we've all had this as men, where you got to like walk off the blue balls, and you're like, ah,
yeah, exactly.
I can't believe. Why does it hurt?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go lift a Volkswagen to deal with it.
Yeah.
What's up, Ronald? Thanks for joining us, bro. I don't know. 17, I would have been.
Yeah, more like 14 for me, I think.
Yeah, more like 14, probably.
Peg, I said that purposely just for you, brother. I said that purposely just for you.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, I know.
I think I was in it. Yeah, no, never mind.
Yeah. That's
17. This would have been okay.
Yeah, it would have been pretty standard fare. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's infatuated.
Yeah, but he's already come up in an area. You know, he's going to school where nobody really wants to be around him, interact him. So this is social
Jesus,
involvement.
Copa. You can't just say
Copa.
yo after that. You got to start with the yo, and then.
No, I think there's a certain efficiency in Copa's communication. He's dropping the hard knowledge first, then we'll get the pleasantries later. But you know.
What's up, say Copa? Jam, I was retarded until my mid-20s. I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm still retarded.
Well, you haven't hit 20, so you're good.
Yeah. And by the way, that's not something you grow out of.
This is more you become comfortable in.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you? I mean, Andrew exists, so.
Hey man, Andrew's been making progress. I give that kid credit.
I like this scene. What do you mean by treating her right? And so then, we get back to like the flashbacks with the gun, and we see David obviously panicking, and he has like moments where he thinks about his mother getting killed in that drive-by.
The Aldo exchange is actually another good bit that because David has grown up with a single mother, he hasn't really dealt with like men bantering and the discussions that they have about dating or things like that. And so when Aldo is telling him, he's like, "Are you treating her right?" He's like, "What do you mean by that?" And Aldo's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" You know, and to David, all of this is new.
Yeah, he
he
never fit in at school, and he's finally found a group of people that he fits in with. Go ahead there.
Yeah,
Husky.
the only interactions he had at school was getting the shit kicked out of him by a martial arts retard.
Yeah. This is the part where, we got Dolph Lundgren teaching David how to box. Literally.
You mean Bridget Nielsen?
Yeah, Bridget Nielsen.
No, that's Dolph Lundgren at that moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they are interchangeable in many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must break you.
Go for it.
Damn it. I can't unsee it.
Someone like hitting
is
a
that your
bongo?
mic? Yeah, is that you, Hosty, with the microphone there?
Maybe.
Yes.
Like
so
like
stop playing
Andy
Kick the
Kaufman
Can
cosplay.
And
yeah.
That or Hostman is like pushing his food dish around, hoping somebody will feed him. I don't know.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
For just $1 a day.
Yes. Fuck you, Sally Struthers.
Even
For just $1 a day, you can feed a starving college kid. Call now at 1-800-FANTASY-COMMUNISM.
We even see David. I'm not ignoring that. We even see David, doing like this. I don't know what kind of drug he's kind of doing here. He injected himself with something, and then
I think they're doing brain dances.
Is it brain dances? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he's drinking with Pilar and the crew. Like you're seeing him drinking more, and then it keeps flashing back to this moment where Maine's giving them, advice. And then David talks about how Lucy wants to go to the moon, and Maine didn't know that about her. And then he says, "How long was she been hanging out with you guys?" And Maine was just like, "It's only been about a year."
Right, because lifespans are short in this line.
Yeah, and Kiwi brought her in because of her cybernetic hacking and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and is it during the montage where she mentions the thing about cyberpunks aren't remembered for what they are, what they do? They're remembered for how they end.
Yes,
which is sad. It's really fucking sad.
What's up, Jacob? Thanks for joining us, bro.
That's how
it has a very dark, lesson in that.
Yeah, again, it's a realistic, kind of conveying what this world is like, and that at least in the moment, other punks are often competition for you. When they die, then they can become legendary because they're no longer in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of real to how criminals are in the real world. I mean, even if you don't know the nitty gritty of John Dillinger's life, you at least know how he died.
His name was Robert Paulson. Name.
And he was hung like a horse.
That was fucking good. That was fucking good.
So we're here again. Rebecca doing gun training with David, and David's having the little panic attacks, and having the PTSD about his mother, and he just can't shoot the weapon. And then we get to David and Lucy having a discussion, about keeping up with them, and endurance is the big thing. Stamina and endurance is a must. And then we see David, take that to her. Well, I thought I was going to go to the doctor there, but we see this scene is a really cool scene too, where they've kidnapped Rebecca and Maine and the crew are there to get her back. And David uses the Sandy and grabs Rebecca out of the fridge, or the safe, I should say. And then we see this kind of Mexican standoff between the two crews. And it doesn't go well for the one crew. And Lucy uses I love watching her. She's almost got like I can't put my finger out, but she's got this like aura about her. Like, I would love to see more Lucy. Like, I'd love to see a spin-off of Lucy, like maybe a prequel of how she got like this weapon, this wire weapon, this laser wire, and how she joined the Edgerunners. Because she's a fascinating character.
I think
she could carry a show for sure.
Yeah, but I think that's part of
Very
the
mysterious.
why she's a good character is that we don't know it. The mystery actually makes her far more compelling.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could make like another one where, like a spin-off show where, she marries a YouTuber named Sammy. And
Down, boy.
they go to the moon and
Down. Yeah. Down.
This is where the
Yeah,
music
then
gets really ramped up too, like you were
Mhm.
mentioning, Jay, where this gets into like a metal. He kind of just shoots this guy right in the head, and it gets really heavy at that moment. We're back to this part where Maine's giving more advice, and kind of letting David,
That's when Maine realizes, oh, there really is something different in her relationship with you because she took you to the, on her moon sim.
Mm-hmm.
That really makes him special.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just can't get over how Kiwi is smoking through that mask. That's kind of weird.
Well, I mean,
I like to think that Scorpion and Sub-Zero do the same thing. When they're done with the combat, they go to the sideline. Give me a smoke.
No, they just got like a bong attachment.
Yeah,
on the outside of that thing. Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, no, it's
It's a backpack that they hook up and it just goes into their facial mask. Yeah,
Kiwi
Smoke
really
just out the
does
mask.
have a cool design. I actually, she was one of the characters that I liked her design the most. Because I liked Rebecca's, she was solid, and then Kiwi's was second.
Yeah, Kiwi's interesting. You can definitely tell that she probably looked good once upon a time, but like the modding herself to push her hacking abilities kind of just
Well, the
took
way
that
she
away.
Hey,
The
to
way
each their
she
own.
acts.
Okay.
The way she acts tells me that she had something like super traumatic happening to her, because she's super distanced from the group. Like, she's there, but she's always in the back room, basically.
I think that's more because of her skill set. That she's more a net runner, somebody who's on the network doing data stuff or whatever. The meat space is not interesting to her.
Okay.
Well, and if they did a live action, I think Taylor Swift would be playing Kiwi.
Oh, please, come on.
That's-
I fucking hate her.
Well, that's
Oh shit! I gotta watch. I gotta take that back, just in case any Swifties are listening into this chat.
you heard it here, Swifties. attack Zach.
Yeah, he also hates Zack Snyder and Godzilla X Kong.
I actually love Godzilla. Like,
I don't like Godzilla X Kong, but I like Godzilla minus one and Shin Godzilla. You can call me a terrorist if you want.
I like Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, Shin Godzilla.
I just don't like American Godzilla.
Godzilla Kong is dope. Okay.
I don't know, man.
I haven't seen it.
Child Diddy Kong Club person.
Again, Dorio looks like a young Thor here with boobs, so I don't know what's going on with Dorio. Yeah,
I think they should get like if they did a live action, they should get a UFC fighter to play Dorio.
You should get Ronda Rousey to play Dorio.
Ronda Rousey still has somewhat of a cute face. I think you need something a little bit more masculine.
Gooch, can I ask you something?
You can ask me anything there, bud.
Cool. Can you go back one frame?
Yep.
Is it possible to do focus shifts in 2D animation, like without using 3D?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah, but so Disney used to do it all the time, and what they
Go
did
back
is
one more, sorry.
They used multifocal cameras.
And like double layer it. So like if you go right after that, it shifts back to it shifts focus. I don't know if that's possible with like just drawing. Is there like an out of focus drawing technique?
I've seen machines. I've seen the machines, how big they are when it comes to like color frames and shit.
Yeah,
they're like industrial big block machines that have like multiple like clamp layers that you have to like clamp up and then presses like a steam press down on the sheets.
Right, or if you were doing this with like traditional cell, what you would do is you would have like translucent in the background. You'd do a double exposure. The front stuff would be out of focus. Then you'd put the second one in, right? Remove the other one and do it hard. And because of the masking, you would get the layer up. But Disney used to have multifocal cameras, and sadly they don't have them anymore. There was actually someone just recently built one from scratch based on the stuff that the patents that Disney had filed back in the 50s, I believe.
See, I was thinking back when you were actually using stop motion and old school 2D animation, you would put like Vaseline on there, like light Vaseline to get that focus look way back in the day, to make it look.
That tends to that's usually good for like backgrounds because you can really blur it up and it doesn't matter. This one you would have to do like either multiple exposures or a multifocal lens.
It's insane. That part, this like the dual focus. I don't know how you would like. I'm just learning how to do it on Clip Studio Paint, and I'm just going over the frames and. And I've actually learned how to do the animation stuff or the actual movement in a scene. Now it's just like getting it. Like I don't know if I want to. I'm sorry, we're going off a tangent here, but I don't know if I want to draw my pieces out and then like put them on, or if I'm going to draw them and then move through each frame. So like I don't know which way I want to do it because I've seen it done both ways, and I think if I did it like draw each scene on Clip Studio, I think it'd take longer. If I did it,
I think you'd have to do it in layers, and so what you would do is for you would have a motion curve for a Gaussian blur, to deal with having these go from like if you wanted to have the background is blurry, the foreground is sharp, and then transition between the two. You would just have like two motion Gaussian blurs that blurs. So what this one's unblurred the foreground's unblurred, then goes to blur as the other one comes out of blur and goes to unblur.
Oh God, I'm looking forward to doing that.
I mean, dude, honestly the pain in the ass. The fact that art is just a huge pain in the ass to do. Like when you're done with it, like it's cool. Like when you finish, you look at your stuff and you're like, "This is really awesome." I really like where this is going. The process is a beautiful thing.
It must be great to be so talented. That's awesome. Sounds
Anybody?
great.
No. Anybody can do artwork. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of practice, and you have to just put your time into it. It's all muscle memory.
Yeah, the biggest thing is like when you're doing hand-drawn animation, right? Each one of those cells are works of art in themselves, and they are immediately, congrats, you did 190-24 more so we can have a second of motion.
Yeah.
And if you really want it to look fluid, you got to do 60 per second. And if you do like a 2-hour movie,
you just deal with that with upscaling. Anything more than 24 is just jacking around because your eyes have a limit on what they can detect.
And Scavenger's
at that
range,
point, the reason you go to 60 or anything like that is because you're just trying to match the display that you're doing, and you can do that with an upscale.
Like this one's 60. This one's 60. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is at 60. So I mean,
right, because they know what it's going to be viewed on, right? This is going to be in a theater or anything like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as soon as I'm done work for the summer, I'm going to be, working on that and see where that goes. So, so she's given him a cyber a brain. What is it? That chip? Oh my god, I'm off track now. Where she gives him a chip to train even harder, and then he goes to the Ripper Dock and gives him money for
some more chrome.
Gives him some eddies. And
that's a reused animation, but it still makes it cringe.
Yeah, I had no problem that they
see. This is so simple. This cell right here, very simple. That I could do that in like 2 minutes, draw that out, and then but it's done so quickly that, and you see it in Cyber, like as I click the like I go a second and it's right to this.
Yeah.
So you're seeing it for like a flash, but you get the idea what they're trying to give to you here, and so
the key thing about animation is it's capturing movement. It's using tricks where the audience kind of fills in the gaps a bit. It's understanding motion blur, things like that, right? The over exaggeration of movement because you're trying to do that. These are all skills that in many cases are being lost, at least in Western studios. Right, Disney now couldn't do a proper 2D animation if their lives depended on it.
No, but a good example
have to hire
is
another studio to do it for them.
I was gonna say,
right?
Yeah, a good example. Well, Titmouse that does Scavenger's Reign is a good example. That's very plain, simple 2D animation. Another person is Meat Canyon. He does a lot of 2D animation.
Oh yeah,
I would love to meet that dude.
His animations are horrifying, but they're hilarious.
He's out there, man.
My buddy, Leonard Agrusty, we went to the school together. He actually worked on the baby one, or is it the baby, or is it the because oh my god, it's
I love the baby one.
Yeah, it's the baby one where they get in the van and shit. He worked on animating that with Meat Canyon. I was like, dude, that's so like you have no idea how like cool that is.
Let's go.
Pull up. Meat Canyon did one called the Angel of Gains, where it's like this swole dude, and he just turns everybody else swole who touches him. That gave me nightmares for like a week. I love the. I was laughing my butt off while watching it, but that's just the. What do you think about it? That's just the most horrifying piece of body horror ever.
Oh yeah, the pumpkin spice one too.
Yeah. But that's my plan for my channel. I want to do some 3-minute animation episodes. And
let me voice that shit. It'll
Yes,
be so
I-
fun.
yeah.
Yes, I definitely want, like, definitely need some voice acting, but I and
I'm totally
actors.
down.
Oh,
But
that'd be
I
good.
mean, it's like I don't know, because if I do it all by myself, it's going to be a process. Like that's like the coloring, the inking, the everything. Like it's going to be. What's up, Hypno? Thanks for joining us, brother. What's up there, brother? And for people that don't know Hypnotic, go sub to his channel. He's like killing it right now on his stream. Like just
Dropping truth
Like,
bombs
he
left
is-
and right.
destroying right now.
Oh,
Let's get
Hi,
hypnotic
Alyssa.
bigger than the quartering.
Yeah. So yeah, back to this. We're seeing David get some new lungs, and he does it without the anesthetic, which is really frightening that he does that. And he gets a new set of lungs put in, cyber lungs, and next thing you know, he's like, fully sprinting for the training.
Yeah, because he's taken Lucy's advice to heart that it's about endurance.
Yeah, stamina,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So yeah, and then we see Maine, have this moment with David, talk about doing some jobs, and see, like, that's not a cyber chip, that's like a drug, right?
That's the immunosuppressants that they have to take because of the.
Oh,
of the
that's
crime.
right. That's right. The suppressants. I was just like,
And
what are they taking here?
immunosuppressants.
And then we see David, he's starting to get muscular now, which is a very well done. And he spray paints it,
Well, and that's a callback. What is it to episode 2, when he first meets Lucy and she does the projection on the back of his coat, and he's like, "Hey, don't mess with that because it's his mom's."
Mm-hmm.
And it was the ER for Edgerunner.
I used to have stuff. Then I turned 40, and now she's like, "Is that it?"
Yeah, I mean, I got mine. I don't know what you're worried about.
But I know what she's really saying. She's like, "Oh yeah,
Seconds
that's
off
it."
my best time.
Yeah.
And this is what I really like the most is that Lucy is noticing the fact that David is putting in this work, and she starts getting feelings for him due to that. It's the same thing, women do not like a guy that doesn't sit around and do shit and fawn at them. They want a guy that wants to work, work their ass off, and because that speaks a lot of volumes. Like, maybe I could have a future with him, or maybe it can be a possibility. Just it changes gears with them to make it like more possible, more realistic, and I like that that it sees that in the show too. You can see like the eye winces, the look backs when they're running. Super cool.
The other thing is the juxtaposition of when they first start the training stuff. David is always kind of on the outside of the group.
Yeah.
And by that shot, he and Lucy are in the center.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a real tight unit, and they're all happy, and then we get to this point where you see this deranged guy taking a piss in their turf.
Here is where I have a problem with this episode. Go ahead and go through it, but I'll bring it up.
Sure. So Pilar is telling this guy to stop, and screaming at this guy. Everyone just keeps walking it off because it's Pilar. He's kind of a wild card, like his sister. He does.
Yeah, and they tell him to knock it off too.
Yeah, and then as they're this guy's just pissing, and then he Pilar says something about like his unit.
Yeah,
that all of a sudden everyone stops, and
he was like, "Dude, you got that chromed?"
Yeah, and then they turn around and they're like, "Wait a minute, that's off." And as Pilar's laughing and talking about jerking it, we see this scene right here where the deranged guy just blows his head. Love that.
I didn't see this coming, to be honest.
I did. To be honest, I actually do not like this. It was just the comical like anime thing that that's stereotypical with anime shows was this moment right here that just kind of threw it off for me a little bit.
Yeah, the reason that the issue that I have with this is that Pilar suddenly becomes very stupid in this, right? The only way that this works is that Pilar is just you're looking at a guy, you can tell he's chromed up, right? And he's doing thing, and you could talk
you can
some
see
shit.
his eyes too.
Yeah, but yeah, you see he's showing psychosis eyes. And if you've been a punk this long, you should be able to tell the warning signs. And the fact that this guy is just not processing anything like that, and then Pilar just keeps going, and it's like this doesn't match up with the behavior that I've seen from Pilar before. Yeah, Pilar is kind of a wild card, but he's not an idiot. And this kind of requires him to be an idiot for this to happen.
I feel like it has
weren't
more
they
to
out
do
like
with
drinking and stuff though. Like,
Yeah, but
know,
even
maybe-
then, I mean, everybody else is
doesn't
like,
sound
"What are you
drunk.
doing, dude? No, just leave him be." I mean, the guy's pissing in a fucking.
I mean, it wasn't
barrel.
even a
Yeah,
showing off thing. Like, hey guys, let me fuck with this dude. Check it out. Like, it wasn't even that. It was like
Right.
he took it upon himself to initiate that interaction with a random dude that that wasn't even bothering them to begin with. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like that. It was just too comical and too over the top for me. And you could tell that they were just like, we need to kill him off. How are we gonna do this? All right, let's do it. Fuck it. Let's get it out of the way.
What were you saying,
I
babe?
kind of think like it could be showing how brazen he's gotten because the crew is doing so well. That's kind of how I took it. Or like
Yeah.
he's got such like big dick energy now that he's like, I can fuck with anyone I want. Who's this nobody kind of thing.
Yeah, pissing on my turf.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong too. I mean, that is also a good theory.
Yeah, I do.
Guys-
What the one thing I do like though, I like the suddenness of the violence here. That Pilar
Yes.
is in like in bed, mid sentence talking about this guy's chrome dick, and the next thing is his head is busy being ventilated.
No, I think that's the thing that caught me off guard, where it was like he didn't even finish his sentence. It's just
Yeah, no reaction from the guy. The guy is just like stoned, but looking down. He's getting the wiggy eyes a bit. That's about it.
Mhm.
And then in mid sentence, and there you go. And his
yeah,
brain, his
a
whole head
lesser
just explodes.
cartoon would have let him finish the sentence, and the dude would have looked over at him like, huh?
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
Yeah.
And
What's
it
up,
was cool.
Squeaka?
And what's cool about the way
style.
that they treat these junkies is the same way that somebody who's on heroin is having a fucking like reaction. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you're gonna hit them. It doesn't matter how you're gonna they tell you like stay the fuck away. Like call the cops and they'll handle it because they can't feel pain. They like an average person who isn't doped up. They're just amped to the like next level.
Yeah, it's like PCP guy.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're on the street and you know the signs.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
think it was-
quickly play this because I love how this part like it goes from three angles with when he shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here,
and you briefly see Maine's face
there,
like, what?
and there.
Bam.
Yeah,
and the guy
the
never
guy's not even
stops
fully
pissing, by the
looking
way.
at him.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, you can see his eyes. Oh, you can see his eyes rolling up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and again, it's the brutality of it, right? It's not, oh, I got shot. No, that's what your head will do if you get hit with a high caliber handgun at that close a distance. Your skull's just gonna pop.
So this is where the Tarantino part of the film this was the
Yeah.
beginning, and now we're right back to the beginning at near the end of the show here
But with color change.
with color change, with indicating the blood splattering all over the place. And then we see Rebecca just lose her mind, pull out a gun,
Yep.
and start firing away. Everyone's
and
responding.
it's like-
David's in shock. The PTSD is an interesting thing for David. Like, this is where he gets kicked out of the way by Maine. Yeah,
I like the way the psycho moves in the scene. It's kind of
His face
unnerving
when he kicks
because
him.
he's almost as fast as David when he's in his like slow-mo super speed state, but he's not as fast. Like just before David shoots him in the head, he kind of like looks over at him at almost a normal moving right. It's pretty.
Yeah, he's pretty hard chromed up.
Yeah.
And what's cool about Maine, whenever he does that with David, he knows that like he doesn't fuck with him with his PTSD like he does with everything else. That's a soft spot that he just does not want to touch.
I'm going to, like Jay, you mentioned it in the back room, but the action shots are like, this is a very gritty, rough looking animation compared to what we were seeing earlier.
Right.
Now we're seeing like the color change. We're seeing everything, that tone just like become more intense because it's a death scene. Like there's a lot of browns, reds, like dark reds, rusty browns, grays, dark blues.
Everybody's kind of going in that red mist kind of reaction, right? You know, the when you see David and you see the outline of his face, right? There's kind of this otherworldly thing when the droplets are coming down, right? Because he's processing, he's not in his full mindset, and then everybody else is kind of in combat mode at that point, and the world changes for them and how they perceive it.
Again, I really love the camera angles they use in this series. This is a great shot as well. Rebecca losing her mind.
Look, her eyes even changed color from their normal, like, sort of pinkish or turquoise color. They are red with anger.
Yeah, there's no rainbow cycling now. It is blood red.
Yeah. And then
look at her face right there.
He tells Kiwi,
she looks like she's trying to bite Maine.
Well, yeah, he tells Kiwi to, like, I think he says like nighty night or something like that.
Yeah, because she empties her pistols, then grabs the machine gun off of Maine and then goes back to town.
Can we go back a frame? And just to show how fast this is happening, Pilar has not collapsed yet.
Yeah.
You know, so they're moving at, they're supposed to be moving at like these really high speeds. I love that. That was something that stuck out to me. It was like his headless body still standing there. You know,
well,
so
and again,
they're moving at a lightning pace.
Yeah.
Well, and they are reacting, right? They've recognized the situation. They know it. They're doing it. David is lagging behind them because he doesn't have the experience and the immediate trigger to go into rock and roll mode.
Yeah, she is just mad. You had no right, you cyber psycho. You had no right. That she was the one who wanted to kill Maine, and someone else robbed her of that right, and she's not having it.
Yeah, because that's her brother, right? So
yeah,
I mean, thanks for jumping in there, Adam. Nice to see you.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah, so we see this is the point where she goes nighty night. Kiwi kind of puts her down. Maine grabs her. Right, I think it's right here.
No, yeah, Maine goes to grab her. She grabs his gun, throws him off a bit, and then starts rocking and rolling again.
And Maine's cannon doesn't work, and he's like, shit of all times. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kiwi, press Becca's lullaby. That's it, right there. And
actually, go back a couple of frames because you'll see right there. See how they're blurring his hand?
Yeah.
Right. That's how you would do the animation of a motion blur instead of just doing a simple blur filter or something like that. They're intentionally drawing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drawing it as a blur.
Yeah.
And so now, so then we got Kiwi knocking Rebecca down.
Out.
David is starting to come around and sees the deranged guy kind of also take on Lucy. He's going to kill Lucy here. And David also Lucy kind of does tries to do a cybernetic shutdown on the deranged guy. He kind of just gets shocked. And then he recognizes where it comes from, and he turns to Lucy and attacks her, and then David
sets him on fire.
Yeah. And then this pisses off David. This is where the courage kicks in for David. He runs over to the deranged guy and uses the Sandy to his full advantage, and this is where he uses the weapon for the first time. Really good setup throughout the whole episode. Like he was fearful of using a gun, having PTSD while even looking at the gun, and like even at the gun range, he didn't even fire a round off. And now we see him beside this deranged guy, and he pulls the trigger, and boom.
Yeah, and I think that's also so like through all of that, the deranged guy, his eyes have been glitching as he recognizes new things and starts to deal with it or whatever. I think they calm down right at this point, right before he gets and this doesn't stop him.
Yeah.
Nope. Getting blown right in the brain. He's still going.
You mess with his woman, man.
No, I mean the crazy isn't done.
Oh yeah, no, he's completely unflinching by all this. Like
see this shot right here, like this smear shot right here, and then it goes into this right here where David's looking to. But you're asking about these kind of shots right here. They're BAGFACE. See this
more the focus.
No, he wants to like the multi-layer where you have a
the multi-layer one. I get that, but this one I would like definitely. This would be like back in the day, like in the 80s, they would just Vaseline. On there and just,
they just changed the focal plane of the camera to blur.
Or that too, yeah. And so David's thinking everything's cool. He shot the guy through the head, and asking if Lucy's okay. She looks up and sees the deranged guy is still kind of somewhat alive, grabbing the cannon and pointing it at David. And then we see Maine jump in and just punch the guy's head clean right off. Actually, a great shot right there. And we see Pilar still standing there.
And then
it's fucking sad. I feel bad for the sister. I feel bad for Rebecca.
Yeah, she's putting gum out.
Her gum in the
well, she's firing at the head. She's just like emptying her gun onto the head of the deranged guy, and she's so enraged. So then,
well, the interesting thing is, I think even after Maine knocks his head off, the body still is like moving, like responding, and they end up like shooting his neck. And that's what finally drops him.
Oh, he's like a snake.
Yeah,
or a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah.
The chrome is still running, but nobody's home.
Interesting here. Lucy doesn't want to be touched by Dorio, and Maine is concerned, and then he tells the crew, he splits up the crew and telling Dorio and Lucy to go see the doc, the Ripper doc, and he tells David to go with him, and then Maine and Rebecca are going back to the base, and so they go to the Ripper doc. Lucy says she's going in alone. He says, like, I'm not a doctor, you know that, right? And she's like, sure, whatever. And she goes in alone. Dorio says, you got her, you can take her home. And next we see this scene here where she comes out, and interesting because like last time we saw this kind of shot, it was David walking out and Lucy waiting for him. And I think that was in episode 2, I believe it was episode 2.
Yeah,
sounds right.
Yeah. So the callbacks in this show is pretty cool. So David's wiping the blood.
There's an interesting thing that you wonder about the motivation of Lucy wanting to be alone, either because she doesn't want to just show weakness or certain privacy, or she doesn't want David to know what her chrome is.
I got the big Pulp Fiction vibes from this still right here.
Yeah.
Oh wow, good call. Yeah. Vinny Vega.
All they need to do is draw a square and it'll be fine.
Yeah. So then we get to Lucy's apartment, and she's like, good night. David's kind of trying to play cool, and then he like can we talk? And she invites him in.
Yes, they go to the door and she's like, that's I'm good, right? You're not coming in. And he's kind of, oh, whatever. And then he asks, you know, do you want to? Yeah, but you don't get to go into the apartment. We go out on the top of the building.
Yeah,
I love their they're each sitting on the side of like their character's accent color.
Yeah,
it's really obvious, but it's just so nice on my brain.
Yes.
Yeah, and then this scene ends up having a couple of great visual payoffs.
Well, she's upset because it's cloudy, because she loves staring at the moon, and then David starts talking to her about, you know, the stuff that she said to him last time they were having this moment, and she's saying that, oh, no, I meant what I said. It was true. And you see this close. They start to bond a little bit more, and what's up? This where I'm just kind of want to get to the point right here. Where is it? Okay, are we back to you know, Mark thing? And then she's just kind of, you know, talking about, you know, the group, and I know Maine is like obviously the leader, and he didn't know Lucy that well, that she wants to go to the moon, and how close that he's kind of.
Well, there's an interaction where she's essentially saying, no, the BD that we did together, that was real. I wasn't lying. But she assumes that he still thinks that she would be lying. And so then she says something like, you know, look, but you're still pissed or whatever. He's then trying to kind of justify his legitimacy. That's why he's saying Maine thinks I got what it takes and all that. And then it keeps coming back to their relationship. She has an assumption about his motivations and beliefs about her that aren't necessarily accurate. And they're trying to like work that down right after that initial betrayal. She feels, it is becoming guilt. I don't think it started as guilt. But she's assuming his understanding of the situation and his motivations as being different than what they are. And they're kind of resolving that right now.
Yeah. Like he's talking about, you know, the things that she's expressed to him, and that Maine didn't know about, you know, a lot of the stuff that she's expressing to David, and he's telling her this, and she's kind of worrying that what's going to become of him if he goes on becoming an edge runner. They're both starting to worry about each other and have
right. She wants to
but they don't know how to
she genuinely cares.
Yeah. They just don't know how to express it properly to each other.
Right. Because their relationship essentially starts off with a betrayal, and then how do you unwind that?
Mm-hmm. And then obviously they kiss,
and they figure out a way to unwind it. But I love that when they're both sitting there and the rocket is taking off between them.
This moment right here where she's pulling her hair right here, it's like a nervous, that nervous tick moment where she's like wants to do something but would want him to do it first. Kind of, you know, she's hesitant to, you know, express her feelings.
She's waiting for David to ask for consent.
Yeah. Yes.
I actually took that as that's so she's a bit self-conscious at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's also why I kind of go back to she wanted to be alone with Doc. And is it because of some chrome that she has in her head, and she in times of nervousness kind of reaches for it, right? When she's self-conscious, she has something in her head that she kind of references.
Yes, Nos, my toes were wiggling when they kissed.
I'm glad they were able
it was
to
actually
show
Gooch's
restraint.
rocket that we see take off between them. Yeah.
Hey,
Damn.
now, Boosh, you can't be talking about my girl like that.
Yeah.
I was glad that they actually were able to show restraint in this scene in a show that hasn't had qualms with showing hardcore sex at this moment. I like how they were. I like how it distinguishes the sex in the world. The sex that happens out in the open is very harmful and degenerate, but the one that happens in private is still kind of like a tender moment. You know, it's still something to be cherished rather than just a commodity to be tossed around.
Well, I think there's a difference between like the casual public, you know, just okay, it's let's have fun. This is the reason it's different is because they're attempting to convey that there's a real relationship that's being built. And it's the thing. The other thing is that if you check, so all the previous episodes, there is always a shot with the rocket going up behind David at some point, and that in the past,
I'm a
it always
Catholic, Nos. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, well, I have some ideas of what we could expect for Catholics, but I won't air them.
Yes.
But the thing is that it's a thing that's just background in his world that he is separate from. In this moment, the rocket and that launch and the moon and all that stuff suddenly becomes a real thing that is a part of his world, right? It suddenly becomes aspirational in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just background noise and a thing that wouldn't happen because he's too low class. He's always going to be on the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's episode 4. And we'll get to everyone's final takes here. And we'll start off with Mr. our newest member to the Thursday night animation reviews, Mr. Jay Goodwin. Your general thoughts. You weren't here for the first 3 episodes, but what's your general thoughts? And if you want to rate it, you can rate it. But your general thoughts of the series so far, and then this episode.
I think that I don't think that I would want to see like a second season of these people, because I think that their story should be self-contained, and I think that if they were going to do a continuation of the series, it should be more slices of lives of other people in this world, right?
That's exactly what I said.
Like a 3 episode of these people, a 3 episode of these people, right? And skip around, right? This is a great introduction to the world, the stakes, how things operate, and so it makes sense to stick with them throughout a full season. I think that it gets more interesting because of the brutality of the world and the the roles that they play within it, that you can't hang with anyone for very long because you're always going to get got in one way or another, right? And so you don't emphasize that as much. I think from an animation standpoint, I like the visuals. Occasionally I get annoyed with the tropey Yu-Gi-Oh style overreaction from David early on, right? Where he's screaming and it's all over exaggerated and all that stuff, right? I would like it if it was more restrained, kind of in, Ghost in the Shell focus type thing, right? Even without it doesn't need the overly cinematic artwork of Ghost in the Shell, because I think the artwork for this is more than sufficient to convey what it needs to do. But I think that there needs to be a certain seriousness to the world, because this world is actually a pretty brutal place. I do love the idea of the punks and how they, at least in this role, they're kind of nomads. They become family, that they don't leave anybody behind, which is conveyed like with where they have to ransom Rebecca, from the other crew that has her in the safe, and then shit goes sideways in a hurry. With Pilar, that they immediately go into rock and roll mode. That David he's of it, but he hasn't fully been integrated into the world until now. So this is a real pivotal episode for me, because you see him being the outsider, kind of being the tag along. He was useful for a couple of things. He then becomes integral to the group and becomes part of the family. They then have, again, that this world gives no fucks about anybody, and brutally, takes care of Pilar and then the response to that, right? And it's previewed with Lucy talking about how that nobody remembers you for what you're doing right now, right? Your reputation is only when you're dead, and you got to know that Pilar is going to go that way. So I think that the world building, this episode in particular, is very pivotal in comparison to the other ones. The first three, I think, are good introductions. This is when they are now a crew or become family fully, right? And extended it, and their responses to it are interesting. They all have their own characters. I think the writing is very good. I do appreciate the cleverness of not only the animation itself, but also the audio and the visual themes that they have. So I mean, this is an intelligent animation, which is sadly awfully thin on the ground of late.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you kept that short and sweet.
Well, yeah,
no, very well said. Hosty, your general thoughts of this episode there, bud?
Oh my gosh. Well, I thought this episode did a good job with Pilar's death. As Jay pointed out, Pilar may not have died in the most intelligent way for his character, but I think the way that they did handle it was very good. I think the training montage added a lot of character in a very short amount of time. It kind of felt like a speed run, but not in a bad way. So I think I'll give this one, I'll say an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Bagface, buddy. I know you have.
Am I breaking up? Oh, that's weird.
Oh, were you done there? Or are you breaking up? Hello.
His normal needs
build.
Okay, you froze. Cool. Bagface.
Internet.
Yes. Your general thoughts there, bro? Because I know you want to get into this because you have some opinions that you want to express about this show.
I was just looking it up, and I like this show and all through the first 6 episodes.
Okay.
So this is still good to me. Yeah. Short and sweet. I'll probably give this one like a 7. Maybe like a 7.5. I like the action in this episode. Moves the plot along pretty swiftly and pretty well. But it's still not really like... I feel like it doesn't hit its stride until the next episode. I still feel like we're still kind of introing a lot of the characters that you eventually grow to like. So, yeah. 7.5.
Because Jay and Hosty have mentioned it, like the Pilar's death. I want to hear your takes on Pilar's death. Like, do you agree with their statement saying it was kind of like a weird way of killing him off? Or I don't want to say weird, but like,
I enjoy it. I feel like it's a good way to show his carelessness and also like what carelessness does to you in the world that they're in, or like, and just kind of the flippantness of how life is treated in the cyberpunk universe, I guess. It's just 1 second you're kind of talking, and the next second you're definitely not anymore. But yeah, I thought the execution of it was could have been better. Like the actual animation is dope, but I saw it coming. I know there was some people who said that they didn't, but I saw it coming from like a mile away.
Me too.
Yeah,
right, because again, Pilar suddenly acts out of character, and you're like, "Oh, well, I think I might have some idea what's going to happen."
Yeah, you kind of get that sense of plot happening.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's still very well animated and acted, and the action after is cool, so I still enjoyed it, just not as much as I could have.
Well, what would add to it?
I
to
think if
make
he
it
hadn't
better?
like even approached a guy, like maybe he just bumps into a guy on the
Yeah.
street and he's like, out of my way,
Okay.
and the guy
Oh, that
just
would've been
blows
way
his head
better.
off, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been so much better, actually.
Yeah, where it's just sudden, right? That he doesn't act out of character. He's just doing his thing. He's doing a bit of the macho because somebody bumps into him, and the next thing you know, yeah, he's getting ventilated.
So something like say they're walking down that alley that's not like I guess the car yard, that yard of like cars, train cars.
Yeah.
I don't know
Freight
what
yard.
I don't even know what freight yard. Yeah, thank you. I can't even think of the word. Well, I guess you could have had him like bump into him and then climb on top of the freight car and start pissing. Would that kind of be a better scene?
Yeah.
Or do you think it'd been
No.
better if he?
Yeah,
No,
no,
'cause
he
again,
bumps
I
into
think
him
it
and he
has
goes,
to-
"What the hell, ass?" And before he can say "hole," the guy blows.
Yeah,
his head
I don't
off.
think you have it go up on the top of the freight car, right? That it's
Yeah,
it's-
no, he's just
it's
walking down
literally
the
they're
street.
walking, and Pilar is on the outside of the group and bumps into Bum who's pissing, and he's like, "Dude, a chrome dick," and bang, right? He's done, and then everybody has to react to this suddenness.
Yeah, and then they look over and the guy's looking into the camera like,
right,
a little too drawn out.
Okay.
But they make up for it right after.
Yeah,
So-
the minute that the gun goes off, everything is great, right?
Yeah.
It's the lead up to why he's close to this guy and around him long enough is the more the problem for me.
Sammy, your thoughts about this tonight's episode?
I thought it was solid. I agreed mostly with what everybody said. I mean, we're still getting a lot of exposition here. I mean, David's finally a member of the group. His relationship with Lucy's, that's starting to get a little bit more intense. I mean, I wouldn't call it like an
You sound very
introductory.
disappointed.
Huh?
I said
What's
you
that?
sound very disappointed.
Me?
Oh yeah, that
I'm not.
Lucy and David's relationship is starting to blossom.
Oh yeah, be
Hmm.
still my heart. No, I think it's solid, but yeah, I agree with Bags. Just from watching the whole series, you know where it's going, and it's just one of those episodes to get there, and I'll give it like a 8 out of 10 for sure. I like that it was a little different, that it was bookended. There's a couple shots I really liked the scene with when David's delivering that stuff to Pilar and Rebecca and that craziness there. And yeah, I did especially like that part where we were talking about when he was walking back and he was on the outskirts of town. I like the way that looked. And it's solid episode. And now that you guys had mentioned a better way of Pilar dying, that would probably be the only thing that I would change about it.
Okay. And now we're at the end. We're now going to see the reveal here, but let's hear his thoughts first. So Zach, your general thoughts of the episode, and then the reveal of what you drew tonight.
I like this episode because you have Rebecca in it, and Rebecca's hot as shit. Especially the different angles that they were showing. So that was a plus. But what I do like the most is that I got to see Rebecca a little bit more. She's like, not only do you see her just like as an item, but then you see like an emotional traumatic moment for her where they haven't yet touched upon yet. So when I saw that, I was like, maybe I'm gonna see some some connection later on for character development for this. Like, I'll get to see her more often. And that's what kept me pushing throughout the rest of the show, like the episode. I was like, just give me more Rebecca. And I thought the scene was stupid. I thought I do think the scene was stupid. I was like, the guy just jumps up and he's starting shit for no fucking reason. They're already established. When you're established to that point, you're not like going out of your way in that moment to do something like that. So
you're not punching down.
Yeah, you're not. So I didn't like that. That was the only thing that stuck out. I loved the montage. The montage was really, really cool. You got to see David kind of going through the ranks just to be an equal member at that point. Sorry about that. PTSD was funny. I remember when I was 18 years old and I rear-ended somebody. It was a bad accident. Like car was totaled, and I had like
Oh, you mean a car? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I totaled this my car, but it wasn't a scratch on theirs, and it was such a bad accident in that moment where later on I was getting PTSD. Like every time I was like in somebody else's car and we're getting too close to a car, I'd be like, and I was just like lock up and freeze. It got it went away after a while, but the montage that David had where he's freezing up, it tells me either he's been with the crew for about, to get jacked to the point where he's at, tells me it's been a couple months at least.
But you're forgetting like Cyberware, and he's
they're enhancing themselves regularly.
Yeah. So with something like that, I did like the episode a lot. So like, dude, hashtag Team Rebecca over here. Like, give me more of that. I rate the episode like
damn it, man.
8 out of 10.
And I just want to say the panel does not condone Sammy's simping about Rebecca that we've just heard for the last 5 minutes.
Any such lolly
that was
Connery.
Sammy Three-Peat, ladies and gentlemen. That's who was talking.
Well, I think people kind of know
Lolly Connery on this show, and any opinions expressed by the panel are the panel's alone.
Son of a bitch! Is that sirens?
Why don't you come in here and sit down, Sammy?
But I did finish the drawing though, so I am ready to show this bad.
I've been waiting to say this all day though. I love the fact that your shirt says pee pee poo 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 pee pee.
Oh, my sister bought me this shit. I say it all the time. Sorry, you ready?
Yeah.
Show it.
Oh
my!
Oh wow!
Let's go.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Some thick thighs, bro.
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of the thick.
Yeah, me too.
I actually feel comfortable
She
with
kind of looks like an adult
lolly.
there, and I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, I just had to, dude. With this episode, I've been dying to get to
Well, we kind of got that.
I thought, there did seem to be a theme.
Yeah.
So,
it's
this
not,
is what I got
not
for
exactly
this. That's
shocking.
for the show.
Yeah. And so everyone, just so everyone knows, we're going to be auctioning these images or these pics that Zach has been drawing and inking throughout the series at the end of the series. So save your money and help Zach out because he is
gonna need bail money.
Yes.
That's what you get for falling for jailbait.
It's a very, very least a new hard drive. So
yes, Andrew, I don't know if Andrew Andrew likes his muscle mummies. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he'd be Dorio.
Oh yeah, he'd be about Dory or Dorio.
So who should I draw for the next episode? Because now we're gonna get into the ball's gonna start rolling. From moving forward after this. So what are the characters? Because I already did David, Lucy, Maine, and now Rebecca.
I like
what about Faraday?
Braindance editor in the next episode.
So I hear.
Oh wait, what about the doc?
Doc.
The doc.
The doctor.
Ripper Doc. Yeah.
Yeah, Ripper Doc's
Doc
cool.
is in the house, man.
Okay.
He's got a cool fucking design.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just gonna give you a new set of lungs, everything be irie.
All right. So
The
Rip
whitest
Radot,
Jamaican I've ever seen.
Okay.
You know, it's such a weird choice, but I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll write it down. Ripper Doc is going to be the character for the next episode.
Thanks for doing that, Zach. You did a great job there.
You're welcome, man.
Always.
Well, let's go around the horn,
yeah.
get everyone, find out where everyone's going to be for the rest of the week and going into next week. Starting off again with Mr. Goodwin. If you want to let us know where we can find you, where you're going to be.
Well, tomorrow, Adam Gray will be subjecting me to terribleness on B-sides on B-roll stage. Then I believe the 24th, I'm going to be on Northern English Bastards channel. We're going to be covering Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. A excellent
Steve Martin.
homage to film noir.
Yes, great
and
movie.
that's about it, because I don't believe that Brownie is going to do Star Trek 6 this weekend, but we'll see.
Okay. Hosty, where are you going to be hanging around?
Well, let's see. I think on Monday I'm on MMM for the Sonic movie, and on the 24th I'm going to be doing a breakdown of A Touch of Evil with Northern English Bastard, and I'm just working away at my Has-Been Hotel video. I got like the first 2 minutes. I got like the first 2 minutes of the video completely edited, so I just need to get the rest of it done. But editing is hard.
I love editing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, love it.
Nos, I just want to say, Turns Nest there.
Bagface, what's going on with you, bro? I know where you're going to be next Wednesday for sure. So,
yeah, X-Men 97 that starts next Wednesday?
No. Rebel
Oh
Moon
my
Part 2.
God, no, dude! I
Yeah,
blocked that out of my mind.
Gooch is truly the scar giver of this one.
For real.
Yes.
Watching Zack Snyder give all those interviews, man, like, everything he says, I'm like, this is gonna be so bad. What the fuck?
Yep.
Like, he's trying to get people to not watch his movie. But yeah,
why would you make an edgy villain name a scar giver? If you give scars to people, that implies that you let them live. And if you're a competent villain, why would you let your enemies live? It's just edgy sounding for the sake of sounding edgy. I don't get it.
That's Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
He's all like, edge, no surface.
Yep.
All edge, no spine.
Yeah.
Imagine like the people in the theater room, like, all right, the next role we gotta like audition for. Who's interested in Scargiver? You could probably picture that guy in the back of the room. Ooh, me! Like, I'll take it.
Damn, that sounds so cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, brother. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something, brother.
He's probably just like hyping himself up. Like, yeah, he's probably just like
Russian
walking
mail
around
order
the theater,
bride.
like he's just like hyping himself up. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
Scargiver.
Cuts
So
himself before he
Bagface.
goes in.
Bagface, where are you going to be, bro?
I'll be here on Wednesday
Yeah.
next week. Not willingly.
My sympathies, sir. My sympathies.
He's blackmailing me. Somebody, please help. And then Thursday I'll be
Is it
back here
me?
too.
Is it me
Does
or
he have
Platoon?
pictures of the
This
dungeon?
Platoon's here Wednesday as well.
Oh,
So.
fuck. Yeah, it's Platoon. And then new Scene Invaders video drops tomorrow about this show that we're covering, Sugar, which is really fucking good. I don't know if you guys like noir detective style stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's show on Apple TV.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit, dude!
I heard about it.
Yeah.
It's real good. So yeah, I'm having fun covering that. And then I think I'm gonna try and do a Bagface video this week because it's been a while, and I'm feeling like I could do that again. I took a long enough break. I sufficiently hate things enough again to talk about them.
Yes.
You know?
I'm like a big fan of his videos. I think, and people that are watching and people that are going to be watching the replay, check out his channel, please, and tell him in the comments, to continue doing this because they're fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I watched
He-
the YouTube Kid one that you guys
Yes.
were. Yeah, I was blown away. I really enjoyed it.
Yes,
Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
he has his own vice going on.
Yeah,
like there's
Yeah, no,
and it's better. It's better. Like he should be fucking putting out way more. But I get it. So, but you do a phenomenal job, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You know I love you. So,
Big brother.
so Sammy, what are you up to this week? What's the end of the week, the weekend, going into next week, bro?
I'm not doing anything until Tuesday, and then I'll be on Gord's channel reviewing the Warriors. And then
can you dig it?
and then depending on when I get that, I'm hoping we'll end close enough so I can jump in on Scavenger's Reign, our regular thing, because it's a really kick-ass episode. I'm really I'm going to talk to Gord like, hey, can we start like an hour earlier?
Yes.
But then after that, I'll be doing a heavy metal chat. I'll be keeping my phone off and everything on Wednesday just in case someone cancels. I already know you already talked to Stu Penzo, but I know I'm on that list, but it was like, I'll watch it.
Oh no, my internet was down. I don't know
Yeah,
how I missed that. I'm so
man,
sorry.
But no. Then after that, I'll be on Roman's show on Thursday, and then I'll be back here. And then I had to reevaluate what I'm doing with my channel. I thought I was going to have one of my first reviews out, and I was going to start streaming about Batman 1966 and put people on it. But I started reviewing that, and then because most episodes are 2-parters, right? And I was gonna have different people on, make them watch those 2 episodes, but like halfway through the first season, I was like, well, if you've seen one of these episodes, you've basically seen them all.
Yes.
I can't imagine doing that for how many ever episodes, so maybe I'll take to that differently, but now I'm looking for something else. So once again, we'll go another week with no videos on my channel, but we're getting there. We're doing stuff. I'm sure something will come eventually.
I feel that.
Yeah, the problem is I don't have a basement that would actually hold BAGFACE, so I can't have him go ahead and make the video. I'll write it. The script is fine. I'll read it. That's fine. But I don't have a BAGFACE in my basement, so I'm kind of screwed on that.
Let me teach you. I'll teach you the ways of the bag.
Yeah,
the ways of the bag.
Don't ask.
Similar to the ways of the Gooch. They're very similar.
about 2 inches difference, I think, generally between
the bag and the Gooch.
2 inches down. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, the bag
Zach.
usually hangs below the Gooch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it starts a little higher, then you have to come down.
Zach, where are you going to be, bro?
Well, I got work for the next 2 days, but I am now that I got this drawing all out of the way, I will be working on starting Sammy 3-piece cool ass commission that he's got me doing. I sent him a rough. He gave me some thoughts on it. I asked him some questions, and I'm gonna be taking it from there. But yeah, dude, I got something cool. I'm not gonna talk about it quite yet. If he wants to, that's on him. But it's gonna be really cool. I haven't done something like this in the theme of what I'm doing. But
very excited.
Hopefully it opens up some doors.
I told him he had to take a couple inches off.
So it really is a life-size Lucy that he's creating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like he's gonna mail them to me.
Yeah, by panel. Yeah. Some assembly required.
Yes. And then I'm gonna go to my wife and go, put this on.
Exactly.
Well, ending the show, I just want to say I want to thank everyone on the panel here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining tonight. Everyone in the chat, you guys are phenomenal. I appreciate you guys a ton. You guys are hilarious. You guys are Nos. You're the encyclopedia for Cyberpunk. It's great having you in here. As for me, I will be back here Tuesday doing Scavenger's Reign episode 7. Wednesday, I got a bunch of people coming on for Rebel Moon Part 2. So I got Mr. Bagface below me here. I have Andrew, Platoon, Vex. I don't know if Zach's is going to be. Hopefully he's better at that point. I have Angry Badgers coming on for the first time. He'll be with us on that one. And we have, oh man, I can't even think of all the people that we have on here right now. But we got a slew of people, and if I miss someone, I apologize. I'm just quickly thinking of who I have on for that one. So yeah, we're going to review number 2 on Wednesday. That's going to be a fun show to watch. And then Thursday, I will be doing this again, Cyberpunk Edgerunners episode 5. So with these guys, which is a blast. I look forward to it every week. And then and Saturdays, you always can catch me on Hypnotic's channel, part of the army there, Saturday Night Hypnosis. We have a blast talking about, the weekly events that are happening and the stupidity that some of the people do online or say online. So, but please, again, subscribe to everyone here. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. And if you can, or if you want, check out some of the older videos that we have. I have done in the past here. We've gone over Arcane, Blue-Eyed Samurai, Scavenger's Reign. Go check them out. A lot of fun, great guests.
Your stream with Lance yesterday was great.
Oh, thank you very much. I had a lot of Lance. I love talking with Lance. Lance is a great individual. I love talking with him. So great. Had a great time talking to him. There is some interviews there. That's a members only. If you want to watch those, you gotta become a member. So again, thank you everyone, and also please during this time, let's try to be nice to each other. Let's support each other. And I like what Pat McAfee says. Be a friend, call a friend, say something nice to them because it could save their life one day. So please, do that. I appreciate. It'd be greatly appreciated. Everyone, please take care. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And adios.
Bye, guys.
Love
See
you,
you,
chat.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?